Yo, yo, yo. Oh, snap. No. Whoa, what? If you didn't mean to go there, I meant to go there. What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, good people? Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Fortune and Freedom Friday. We are back again with another episode of SR Daily. Another episode of SR Daily. Happy Friday. It is Friday, episode 413 of SR Daily, closing out week 83. Closing out week 83 here on the show. What is going on? Peace and love. Friday, July 17th, 2017. No, 18th, July 18th, not the 17th. My bad. Friday, July 18th, 2025. Again, more than halfway through the month. Less than 2 weeks left, 13 days left in the month, and then we are in August. That is crazy. I don't think I've ever felt August or July go this fast, right? Summer is moving, but that's time, man. Also, time moves faster or slower based on your level of engagement in life, right? The more engaged you are in life, the faster time seems to move. Because there are people right now, even though the earth has sped up, right? We know that. There are people right now who are still saying time is moving slow. There are people right now alive, right, that we know that are still saying your time is moving so slow because they're not engaged, right? They're sitting at home, they're watching TV, they're laying around all day, like they're not pursuing their goals. They may not have no passion, they may not have any goals, right? Um, so yeah, man, like August is right around the corner, and then in September, and then but like I tell my children, don't rush it, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy the days, enjoy the weeks, enjoy the hours, right? Enjoy it because once the season is done, it's done. And it's the next season until the next time the season come around. And so enjoy the season. Mona Love, what's going on, baby girl? Happy Financial Freedom Friday. Yes. Happy Financial Freedom Friday. Vegan Thick, what's going on, sister? What's going on? Peace and love. Eddie Kruger, what's going on, my brother? What's going on, guys? Listen, we are going to get the show started in a second. Please do hit the share button. Share this live with 5 to 10 of your friends who may be interested in tuning in. Hit the share button. Hit the share button. Hit the share button. Share the live. Share the good content. Spread the love. Don't keep the content to yourself. Let people know what you're watching at 9 a.m. Mondays through Fridays. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tune into SR Daily. We are here Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. It is absolutely going down each and every weekday. We've been doing it for 400 and long time, 413 episodes now. We have 1,400. Well, soon we have 413 episodes in. We're gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna get the show started right now, guys. Listen, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Ray Martin. You were tuned into SR Daily, episode 413. Remember, SR Daily is where personality meets enlightenment. We're here Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Instagram Live, man. This is the last episode of week 83, closing out week 83, and we are going to get the show started right now. We're going to start the show with the first segment of the day. Today's first segment is our word of the day, and today's word is very simple, 5 letters: power. Power is the word of the day, not the show, the actual word power. What does power mean? Power is defined as the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. To supply a device with mechanical or electrical energy. To move or travel with great speed or force, right? Yo, Scarecrow Shirt, what's going on? What's going on? Listen, let me read the definition again because we're gonna build on this thing here, right? We're gonna get into power. Power is defined as the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events, to supply a device with mechanical or electrical energy, to move or travel with great speed or force. And so we hear the term, right? And I think it came up yesterday in some conversation I was having. But the powers that be, the people in power, right? You have no power. They're trying to take my power. Right? Like, oh, we need more power, right? Like, exert your power. So power, different aspects of power, right? To move or travel with great speed or force, that could be power, right? Or that is power to supply mechanical or electrical, to supply a device with mechanical or electrical energy to influence the behavior of others. So in essence, everything is powerful. Everything has power, right? The key is to allow your mind as a human being is to allow your mind to be the most powerful, to allow your mind to direct or influence the behavior of yourself first, right? To be influenced by your own thoughts, to move to the beat of your own drum, and then you can influence others. Now we know, man, we know growing up, just wherever you grew up in the hood and whatever type of community or environment you grew up in, there are people who exploit folks. There are people who try to have power over others, right? But a lot of them don't have power over themselves, right? They have no power. Like, then they're people. So there's an issue. There's been an issue for a long time in our communities with police departments and policing, right? And one thing we've come to understand, those of us who have especially firsthand experience, right? Being arrested, being targeted by police, right? Being brutalized, all of those things. We know that they're police officers, they're law enforcement officials, agents, however you want to call them, who may not have power in their lives, in their home, right? And so they come to work and they take their power out on the people they're supposed to be, quote unquote, protecting and serving, and take their power out on us. So they try to exert their power, right, through interactions with us, because maybe at home, right, if it's a guy cop, their wife got all the power, right? Maybe if it's a woman at home, her husband got all the power, and maybe abuse her and she needs to feel some type of power. It happens, right? But I want to go back to when I started really thinking about power, right? So first, I think this is a great word to think about, especially when a person thinks about changing or transforming their own life and or creating change in the world. Well, if you're thinking about creating change in the world, if you're thinking about transforming your own life, KJ, what's going on? Danny Lioness, Royalty, what's going on? If you're thinking about changing your own life, you should be thinking about this word power and what it means in general, and then what it means to you. You should be remembering your power. You should remember power in general. So let me go back, right? Might have been, let's say, 2009, maybe, right? Barack Obama is president. And my brother Razor and I, we were walking. I think, to the store to go get some stuff, right? Walking to the store from the store, but I think we was walking. We was on the side block, right? I think we were going, because I'm trying to remember at what point, like, shit struck me, like lightning, like, it just hit me. Boom! We talk about power, and again, Barack Obama is president. And you know, the president of the United States of America, they say, is the most powerful person in the world. And so I think he had maybe given a speech the night before, and Ray and I was talking about it, right? It might have been after inauguration. It might have, yeah, it might have been. Yeah, I don't know. Right? Trying to remember all of the details. But however, got into talking about Barack Obama being the most powerful person in the world. And then we got to talking about power. And it was in that discussion, I forgot at what point it came up, but we started talking about science and specifically electrical energy, right? And us being electrical beings, specifically Black folks, right? Us being very electrical, very, right, like magnetic. I was like, so in science, right, like in politics, power may be measured by how many people you influence, by how many constituents you have, right, by your rule of thumb, how many people are afraid of you, right? Those are all things, all aspects or ways you could define power in politics and socioeconomic and sociology and things like that, right? But we talk about science. Science, a lot of times, power is measured by energy used. Power is measured by energy used. And so it made me think, right? This is 2009, right? 2008, 2009, one of those years. And it made me think, if in science, power is measured by energy used, right? The amount of energy used, right? The frequency, right? The force of the energy. If I'm using the most energy, then how can someone say I'm not the most powerful? Right? Because again, I'm telling you guys, right? Like, I've had a vision for a very, very, very long time, and I've been on a mission to heal the world and make it a better place. And I've been on a mission with a vision to be one of the most powerful people in the history of the world, right? To be the greatest person in the world, right? I've had that vision. I've shared that. And so it's like, okay, I'm in Queensbridge. At this time, I'm financially freaking struggling, right? Clothes, I ain't got the clothes that I want, that I need, right? Like, I'm jacked up, right? I'm jacked up in so many ways, but I'm finding myself. I just changed my life, right? Like I'm on a new path. I'm on a new path of self-discovery, right? Of self-enlightenment, right? Personal reflection. I'm starting to identify who I am and why I'm here. And then again, power is like, I really, really, really want to heal the world. Some people want to do it because like the cloud. I just really want to make the world a better place. Why? Because I'm a filmmaker and I really just want to make films, but because the world is so fucked up, right? And because I have a heart and the position that I have, the intellect, the knowledge that I have, I got to do other things. I can't just make films. Not right now, right? I got to do other things, right? Like I got to build the film studio because a guy like me don't really got the quote unquote connections that other people got. Don't got the certain technical skills that other people got. So certain things it's a little challenging. And so we're gonna build the world, and then we're gonna immerse ourselves in the world, right? And so power, energy used. If I'm using the most energy, nobody could tell me I'm not the most powerful. And so I want you guys to think about that. Think about when you think about power, when you think about somebody having power over you, right? You think about quote unquote the people in power. Nah, dogs. It's like everybody's trying to exert power over somebody else. You need to ensure that you have power over your own mind, power over your own feelings, power over your own spirit, where you go, you power over your own feet, power of your own decisions, right? And then increase your energy usage. You could positively impact more people. And then eventually, if you have a desire, you could be the most powerful person in the world or one of them. So yeah, I wanted to chat about that word, man. I know that was a bit bit much. We took a little bit of time there, but I really want you guys to think about power. And this young brother named Bishop, never forget this guy, man. Young kid, rather, young boy, young fella, young man. He might have been about 8 years old, 7 years old. A couple years back, my ex-wife and I let a friend stay with us. A friend and her son stayed with us, and I'll never forget the friend, myself, and her son. We was in the check cashing place, right? We was in the check cashing place online, and again, right? This is 10 years ago, right? Yeah, about 10, 11 years ago, 2014 or so. And we were talking about, impact, community, right? And we're talking about power. And I think I said, or the sister has said something like, money is power. And then the young fella Bishop said, money is not power, people are power. And it shifted everything because, again, we think money is power. Money is power. Yeah, money can make people do things. Yes, money can influence, right, or direct the behavior of others or the course of events. 100% money can do that. But it's the people with the money, right? Because you can have no money, or you can have a lot of money and you can't direct because nobody respects you. Nobody like, who the F are you? And you can have no money and you can influence and direct the behavior of others or course of events, right? So yeah, man, people of power. Make sure you have power over yourself, right? And let's keep this thing pushing, guys. Let's move right along to our second segment of the day. Today's second segment is our our need to know news of the day, man. And today's need to know news, I want to talk about the Black Power exhibit. I want to shout out my dear brother and sister Frank and Kelsey Bold, husband and wife, dynamic duo, man. New parents, right? Like married a year ago. Freaking like married a year ago. No, married a couple years ago. Sorry, a couple years ago, married. Baby shower a year ago. Baby this year. They're freaking incredible human beings, and they are art curators. The Black Power exhibit is a traveling, or as the brother likes to say, is a nomadic exhibit bringing Black art and conversation, Black art, education, and culture to spaces that historically may not have access, right? May not have had access to Black art in this way, may not have been able to facilitate conversation and communication in this way, right? But the Black Power exhibit is happening now through July 31st. It opened this past Saturday, the 12th, and it is in Harlem at Dynasty Commodities on 115 in Frederick Douglass. It is a high art exhibit, once again curated by Frank and Kelsey Bold, who also have their own private art gallery, the Bold Gallery, and so that's what this exhibit is, or that's what that's the curator, the Bold Gallery, right? Again, dynamic husband and wife, man, bringing Black art to spaces that may not have access to Black art in this way. The opening was freaking incredible on Saturday. Met some of the artists. The ones I can remember is I think Soul Icon, something like that, right? Soul Icon, Black Sun, and Our Souls, right? Incredible Black artists doing incredible visual freaking art. Again, this is so dope because it's bringing art conversations, and it's in a dispensary. It's in a dispensary in Harlem. It's in a legal dispensary in Harlem in the basement in their lounge area. Like, that's dope. And so, yeah, I just think it's freaking fascinating and phenomenal, the fact that we can blend, right, cannabis and art, right, with black folks, right? Not just cannabis and art and white people. Yo, Maya, what's going on, sister? Not just cannabis, art, and white folks, right? Because those things kind of been, but black folks and black folks that are not the bougie black folks that are your everyday black folks that are not like, oh, you got to be super educated or you got to have all of this money or all of this status or belong to this prestigious institution. Nah, you everyday black person that you may see walking down the block on the street in the hood, sitting on the bench smoking butt, right? Like those are the people who are involved as artists, and those are the people who this art, this space, this Black Power exhibit is for. It's to foster conversation, right? It's to educate, it's to inspire, it's to once again to bring art. Like how many black children have never been to an art exhibit? Now they may have seen art on walls, right? They may go through they may have been to a museum, right? Natural history. They may have been to something. They may have seen art in the airport or at someone's home or doctor's office, right? But a full exhibit curated by black folks, for black folks, featuring black folks. Like that's dynamic, man. And we know that art appreciates. We know that art is two unregulated industries in the world. I always say it. It's drugs. We ain't dealing with drugs no more, right? But then it's art. Art and drugs are the only two unregulated industries in the world, and there's nothing they can do to stop you from creating art and using art to generate wealth, using art to bring people together, right? And so, yeah, the brother's doing incredible things. His wife is doing incredible things, man. The Black Power exhibit is happening. You can visit the Bold Gallery on IG, I believe. I do not believe that they have a Facebook or full website yet. But you can visit the Bold Gallery, the Bold Art Gallery, something like that on Instagram. Super dope. See the open gallery hours. I don't know exactly what they are, but not only are they, is the art on the walls in the basement of the fucking dispensary in Harlem. It's incredible. They also have different activations throughout the week. They had a movie night. They watched Sinners. A few nights ago, I think that was Monday. They watched Sinners. They have something called the Conscious Kickback. They're doing on Thursday evenings where Illy from Brooklyn comes and facilitates a conversation. Right. Yesterday's conversation was on cannabis and professionalism. I think next week is art and education. Right. Art, cannabis, and education. And then the final one is art and capitalism. Right. So the next couple of weeks, they're going to have Puff and Paint, I think, next week. Right. So they're doing incredible things, man. They're doing incredible things. It's more than just an art gallery. It is black folk, like at the highest level, man, in terms of creativity, in terms of thinking, in terms of education. I also love that every exhibit they have little cards, right? I don't have none of the cards here, but the cards are dope. Like, papers. They have word search. They have word search, right? They have connect, right? Connect not the dot, but connect the movement so it's a person's name and then there's the movement. So it's like it's Steve Biko, it's Marcus Garvey, it's Stokely Carmichael, it's I can't remember who else. There's a few people. Then on the right side is movements, it's Black consciousness, it's Africa for Africans, it's Black Power, right? It's Malcolm X, right? So yeah, I think it's 5 people, 5 movements. You got to connect them. Malcolm X was By Any Means Necessary. I think Steve Biko was Black Consciousness. Stokely Carmichael was Black Power. Marcus Garvey was Africa for Africans. And I think, I can't remember the other person and the other name and the other movement, but it was that. It was also like this or that, right? What do you choose? Do you want a revolutionary bookstore or community garden? Do you want land back or do you want reparations, right? Do you want to return to Africa or do you want to take the block back, right? So it's great. Like, it's credible conversation. Then they got conversation starters, topics or questions or things to say, to think about, that you can go up to random folks and ask them a question and spark a conversation. So again, they're doing incredible things using art to foster communication, to educate our people on Black history, Black culture, Black excellence, Black power, and all of those dope things. So yeah, man, super excited, super grateful for them. Please do check that out. Again, the Black Power exhibit is happening now through July 31st at Dynasty Commodities in Harlem. High art exhibit curated by the Bold Gallery, which is comprised of Frank and Kelsey Bold, dynamic husband and wife, doing incredible things. So yeah, check that out. Look into that, man, and make sure you check out those open gallery hours and go see some art. And if you got it, buy some art. right? If you got it, buy some freaking art, man. Art appreciates. Art will become more valuable, right, as time goes forward. Especially if you buy some really dope art, right? Like you buy some bullshit art, then I don't know, man. It's still gonna appreciate, but I don't know. But you buy some dope art from a dope person, a dope soul who you know is going. You buy the freaking art, $500, $1,000, $1,500. Spend it 2 years, it might be worth $20K, $10K, right? Something like that, whatever the case may be. But let's move right along, guys, to our third segment of the day. Today's third segment, as always, is our tip of the day. Today's tip is to simply be what it is that you want. Be what you are looking for and be what you have always needed. Somebody once said, be who you needed as a child. Be that person. If you want love, be love. If you're looking for friendship, be a friend, right? If you've always needed a support, if you always needed somebody to listen to you, if you always needed somebody to comfort you and let you know it's okay, then you be there. You be that for somebody else. You be that for others. Be what it is that you want. As they say, like so many people quote it, not a lot of people fully live it. Be the change that you want to see in the world. If you think the world should be more peaceful, if you want the world to be more peaceful, then you got to be more peaceful. Not just talking about peace when it's peaceful, but when things get ruffled, when things get tough, when things have the potential to be a little freaking finicky, you remain peaceful. If that's what you want in the world. People complain about violence. Listen, it's one of the biggest, I think, travesties in our community and in the world is people who complain about violence, right? People who love violence, people who love violent music, love the violent movies, right? And mind you, I guess somewhat be guilty of this as well, right? But I understand the dynamic of things, and so it doesn't really get me like that. But there are people who love the violent music. They talk about violence. Somebody does something to them. They're ready to go get their brother, ready to go get their boyfriend, their husband, their father, their uncle, their cousin, right? Ready to go get their son to F somebody up, to fuck this person up, to do this to this person. But then when something happens to a person that they care about, they're like, oh, this shouldn't be happening. When their loved one gets shot or gets stabbed or gets killed or gets jumped or gets beat, right? They say, oh, this is messed up. This shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't be like this. It's like, dog, like you are a propagator of violence. Again, I'll never forget Erica Ford's poem. Shout out to Erica Ford and Life Camp. Erica Ford, it was probably one of the greatest poems I've ever read, like because of its meaning. So we would do a lot of funerals, right? We would go to a lot of funerals back in 2010, 2009, 10, 11, 12. A lot of funerals for young people throughout the city, man. A lot of funerals. We would go and we would just be like, support, right? Make sure things don't get crazy. Make sure there's no violence. Make sure the family has the support, emotional support, physical support, and all of that stuff, right? But Erica Ford would read a poem sometimes. Specifically, I remember she read the poem at a high school. We did a mock funeral at a high school. I think it was East High School in Patterson, New Jersey, right? East Side High, one of them schools in New Jersey. But we did a mock funeral, meaning we brought the casket into the auditorium, right? Young people in the auditorium don't know what's going on. We bring the casket in. They start crying because it's reminding them, because they've been to funerals. They know friends who have died, right? And so it's reminding them, oh, man, and Erica Ford comes in speaking. Don't cry for me because subconsciously you killed me. Don't cry for me because subconsciously you killed me. Don't cry for me because subconsciously you killed me. And the children would just, the young people would just be freaking bawling. They going crazy, like crying. But that's real. That's real. That's real. Listen, I know some people who, black woman, something happens, I'm going to get my brother, going to kill you. He's going to do that. My brother, my man, And then when her man or her brother gets shot, it's like, oh my goodness, that shouldn't be happening. We need to do something. It's like, yeah, you got to be more peaceful. You got to be what it is that you want. You got to be the change that you want to see in the world. You got to be what you've always needed. Simple as that, right? And so making it more personal, a lot of us, we just need love. And we just need friends, and we need people who care about us, and people who listen to us, and people who will help us in ways that we need without feeling judged or pressured, ridiculed or criticized. Just need love, man. And so if that's what you need, then be that. If you need somebody who just listens to you, just listen to others, right? If you need someone who helps you, right? If you needed somebody to help you, then help others. If you needed somebody who just cared about you, let you know that it was going to be okay, then do that for others. Let people know it's gonna be okay. Put your hand on their knee if you talk and listen. It's gonna be okay. I'm here for you. Let it out. Feel, cry, scream, shout, do all of the things. I'm here for you, right? Be that. Especially in times when you may not be feeling so good in love. That's when you have to exemplify your own ideas, even more so when you don't feel loved, when you don't feel hurt, when you don't feel cared for, when you feel like people are violating you and disrespecting you as a human, as a man, as a father, as a mother, as a woman, whatever the case may be, right? Like, that's when you got to be it more. It's tough, but that's the hard thing about hard things. Shout out to Arthur Henry. But moving right along, guys, to our fourth and final segment before we get out of here. Our fourth and final segment before we get out of here, as always, our build of the day. And I just want to say, listen, man, build on the fact that it's a long freaking journey, dog. Be sure to pace yourself. 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 Listen to me. In all things and at all times, pace yourself, right? Pace yourself. When you feel a burst of energy, of course, you go with it. You go with it. The burst of energy comes and boom, boom, bap, bap, bap. You're able to do this, that, and that. Do it. Go with that energy. But freaking pace yourself. There's no race. You are not racing anybody. The only thing you're racing is time. And you know what? You can never beat time. There's nothing you can do to beat time. You can't beat time. You never could beat time. Because if it's your time, it's your time. And if you ain't accomplished the thing, you ain't accomplished the thing. And there's nothing you can do about it. So don't fret, dogs. Like, enjoy the freaking ride. The journey is beautiful. Truly, 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 it is a beautiful journey. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. You meet new people on this journey. You learn new things about yourself. You discover new parts of yourself, new interests, new likes, new dislikes, right? New habits, new. But if you skip the journey, if you don't pace yourself and you just try to rush through it, if it happened the way you wanted it to happen, if things happen the way you liked it to happen, the way you prayed for it to happen, you have a pretty dull life. And you know what? Maybe you want a dull life, but the universe ain't got that in store for you. So pace yourself, dogs. Like, take your time. Don't rush. Take your time, man. Take your time. Process things. Feel things deeply. Like, look at the sunsets. Enjoy the sunsets. Enjoy the sunsets, man. Enjoy the sunsets. Enjoy the sunrises. Enjoy the waterfalls. Enjoy the water flowing. Enjoy the rivers. Enjoy the lakes. Enjoy the children yelling and laughing on your block, in your crib, in front of your house, right? Like, enjoy the air in your car when it's 85,000 degrees outside, right? Like, pace yourself, man. It's going to be okay. It's a long game. You're not getting out alive, right? You can't get out alive, so no need to try to rush to the end. Right? Like, find joy. And I know that you rush it because things may have been painful, but find joy in the pain, right? Find joy in the pain. Find joy in the pain. Transmute that shit and let it transform you. Let it propel you. Make a story out of it, a book, a film, a children's book, a series, a TV show, something, a podcast. Do something. Use it. Pace yourself. Enjoy the fucking journey, man. Like, it ain't over till it's over, and it ain't over. So just keep going. A lot of us want to rush. A lot of us are unhappy. A lot of people are miserable, and they really just want to die. So they can't wait till they get to, till it's over. But listen, dog, take your time. Right? Like, I got to keep repeating that, man. But guys, listen, man, that is our show for today. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I am your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Ray Marston. You are tuned into SR Daily, episode 413. This is episode 413 of SR Daily. SR Daily is where personality meets enlightenment. We are here. We are here. We are here Monday through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Instagram Live. We're going to keep this thing going. Closing out week 83 weeks on air. We are in the works of 2 more talk shows, right? 2 more talk shows or another talk show in the podcast. We are in development. Again, Sugar Ray Show. I'm still still letting that ruminate through my mind. All right. Still thinking about it, still pondering it, still I haven't pulled the trigger yet, right? Need to pull the trigger and just set up some interviews and get the Sugar Ray Show going. But we got another show that we are going to develop and produce in the next few months, man. The Healthiest Person on Earth. And that's going to be that's specifically going to be a health show where we talk to health experts, we talk to health practitioners, we talk to people who are on a journey to attain optimal health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. We're going to talk health. We're going to talk the health of the people, the health of the earth, right? We're going to talk about health, the healthiest person on the planet. And what does that mean? What does it mean to be healthy in the various different ways, right? Like, can you experience extreme trauma and still be healthy? Of course you can. Can you experience still great loss? Can you be grieving and still be healthy. Of course you can. So that's a show. We're going to get together in the next few months, right? Fall, winter. We get that show popping. But yo, listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a beautiful Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. Please be sure to join us right back here next week, same time, same place, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and YouTube Live. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, Sean Sugar Marson. SR Daily, episode 413, closing out week 83. We will be right back here Monday morning, 9 a.m., week 84, episode 414, which is a palindrome. Right. Shout out to the brother Razor, the God. But listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up. The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. I love you guys. Peace.